Greeting Gage and salutations, everybody. This is Orbital Lance. I'm the Orbital Lancer, and we're still dealing with that dang old Shadow Over Cyberspace. Seems that the strange Aeon is still arriving. I'm still a little bummed that Cthulhu seems to be retroactively cheating me out of all of my weekend plans. I really hope that that's not a thing that he's, like, doing on purpose. Well, no, I mean, like, okay. That would be narratively interesting. That would be a really interesting thing for a bad guy to do. But, like, from like, a gameplay standpoint, I hope he's not doing that. Well, okay, I'm conflicted. And I'm supposed to be conflicted, and I think it's good that I'm feeling bad about Cthulhu's presentation. It would be really, really interesting if he was, like, weaponizing, retroactive history. Like, revisionist history is such a big deal these days. And gaslighting. Everyone's talking about gaslighting, even though that's been a big deal for centuries. So it would be interesting if this take on Cthulhu was like a manifestation of the concepts of gaslighting and revisionist history. Well, whatever it is. Okay, click on this. Stay human. Stay human. It's a silly word for a rather grotesque biological function. Yeah, that it is. Okay, don't scare me. Ooh.
As goes America, so goes the world.
Is that the saying? I think I've heard the saying, as goes China, so goes the world. I suppose more people... I suppose I might not have heard the version for America.
Here, freedom makes her last endeavor. Fails she, and all is lost forever. Finer lyrics were never written.
I don't know.
We have guided ships safely to shore. Our economy reshapes that of other nations. Our culture overrides their outdated values.
Oh, I really hate this guy.
We spread freedom and democracy to every corner of the map, by Bible and bullet.
Yeah.
One world under our banner, with all troublesome elements boiled away in the great American melting pot. My plan for humanity may be merciless and brutal, with considerable sacrifice, but it is the only path towards long-term survival.
That's exactly what many people from the United States think.
And yet, you conspire with my would-be rivals and killers.
Yeah.
You work against your own nation and your own species.
I don't know about that.
Why do I allow it? Why haven't I stepped in to step on you? Because I want you to talk with the old ones, to see their fixations, obsessions, and failures laid plain. You'll see that if you elevate any of them to the throne, it will mean the destruction of everything you hold dear. You would doom the world. I believe in you. I believe you will ultimately hold faith in your fellow man, and will make the right decision. We will stand side by side in relay.
Yeah.
At the dawn of the 21st century.
It's always interesting to hear how other people pronounce Lovecraftian words.
Because as goes America, so goes the world. And I am America.
So, does anybody else get weirded out when people refer to the United States as America? Like, I understand that the United States of America is a mouthful, and it's easy to make, and you want to make a shorthand for it, but I really feel weird speaking for all Americans when I refer to my country. Like, we've got Americans in Peru and Venezuela, in Canada and Mexico. There's Americans from pole to pole, and I feel weird whenever I hear... the Sega Dreamcast. I feel weird every time I hear people refer to the United States as America.
Hey, it's me.
Oh,
Want you to
Clyde!
know I'm still alive and kicking.
Oh, I'd almost forgotten about Clyde. He was, our investigations might have gotten him into trouble.
Split up, lost our tails, found a new hideout.
Great.
An abandoned warehouse. Gonna hold up here for the rest of the month to be safe.
Cool.
We've got power and phone lines, and that's all we need. And a bunch of junky old arcade games. Just nice for dealing with the boredom.
Okay, so this, that's another point in favor of this being in the backstory of Arcade Spirits.
Glad the ally I sent your way's been useful. He's a good dude. You're right to bring him into the fold on this one.
Oh, good, yeah, the person whose avatar is an alien, whose name is escaping me.
I'll call when we've settled in. And don't forget to eat this tape.
Right, I'll get right on that. I need to eat everything. I am not eating an answering machine tape thing. Okay, fine. Well, at least click on the fridge a couple times. I'll just pop it out and demagnetize it like I've done with the others. Okay, good. So we have been doing things. But yeah, the, I don't remember the other person's name because there isn't a name to remember. It's a screen name. It's not I Want to Believe. It's Truth Seeker. It's something like that. Kind of miss the homemade corn muffins my grandma made. I was so shocked as a kid when I found out she used cottage cheese. Yeah. Alright, double check this calendar. The LAN party. I'm going to the LAN party. Do not screw me out of this, Cthulhu. I didn't want to... I didn't want to do that. Monday, December 13th, LAN party Saturday. Okay. Can I just say, it's a subtle thing, but I appreciate the dot matrix printer paper and the dot matrix sound effects that I keep hearing. Hello, friend. Alright. Some hacking would be good. Just to keep human. Dark Z, second encounter. Dang it. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I probably could have gone without marking bombs, but I guess I've done one. Might as well do them all. Great. Okay. Now that we've got that out of the way, we need to research the clone radio scandal. Okay, so if you didn't see last episode, we learned that Nyarlathotep was turned into one of the artificial minds, the AMs, that are in the background of all this. And we asked about that one name who keeps coming up, Jane Pearl? Is that it? Jane Pearl. Is that supposed to be Pearl Jam? Just flipped? Doesn't matter. And we learned that Nyarlathotep's artificial mind had basically been copied a lot, and each one allowed to do its own thing. And each of those artificial minds became their own grunge rock singer. And that led to... And they were basically trying to throw as much music at the wall as they could until they saw what stuck. Kind of like the lazy approach that a lot of generative content developers are doing nowadays. I'm not going to call it AI, because it's not AI. MuseTV.com. The clone radio scandal keeps getting sillier. Ever go travel cross-country, figure out what station that area plays, the alternative rock you love, tune in and think, huh, this sounds familiar. You might have run into the scourge of clone radio. While record labels often seek out bands with a similar sound to what's trending right now, rarely are they so brazen as to literally slap a new name on a band and resell them as a new act. But that's what Carcosa Media did, and their justification is high comedy. This was a simple A/B marketing test, says Patrick Arnold, VP of Sales for Carcosa Media. We were trying to determine which songs and which branding would sell in the current market and experimenting with variations on a theme. We never intended to deceive anyone. This sort of market research is common. Except at no point did Carcosa disclose that these bands were all the same band, all the same singer-songwriter. Normally, marketing research is done under closed conditions and behind NDAs, not as a live social experiment. I'd call that massively deceptive, and so would anyone with a brain. But while I'm willing to call them out on trying to sneak one past music lovers, I don't buy this conspiracy theory that all the music was written by artificial minds. It makes a certain amount of sense given the sheer volume of clones they launched, but when I say things are silly, I don't mean they're that absurd. An AM is an unthinking, unfeeling machine. It doesn't have the heart and soul to create the kind of music caught up in this scandal. The actual songs are surprisingly dark, meditative, and emotional, and an AM can't reach the lyrical levels of Kurt Cobain. It's ridiculous to even consider this to be the output of a computer. Well, clearly this blog writer isn't familiar with the Hate 4000, or as Penny Larceny called him, the Love 4000. Hopefully getting caught with their pants down makes Carcosa rethink their approach to musical acts, but hey, corporate mentality, what are you gonna do? K-Lang, live, tickets on sale. Okay. Now I'll quit the browser. Not a lot of new info there, but it does kind of fill in the gaps a little bit. And I think that really is good game design. Because when you're playing... A lot of people don't realize that there is gameplay to visual novels. There really is. And the gameplay of artificial novels is... Did I click the fridge today? I might have forgotten that. The gameplay of artificial novels is one where... Continuos. You get rewarded with either more information or more scenes to play out. And... basically, your reward for game is more game. And that's the gameplay loop that a lot of things like this are... That's the difference between okay visual novels and great visual novels. And so, I got the sense that I didn't make the right choices when I spoke to Nyarlathotep last night, but I still got a new thing to research. And so my reward for failure is a little more world building. And I like that. I like that. Speaking of world building, it's another night. We have another chance to see if we can find the pirate TV signal. Let's see. Is it just...
The weather will continue until morale improves.
Okay, well, I guess... You know, I've not thought about it, but... They have been... Have they been updating these every day, or is it just the same image? Like, has the second one always been sunny? High 40, low 36? Because that would be... Like, on the one hand... On the one hand, it would make sense. That's just a single-page asset that game players are only going to look at, you know, periodically whenever they check the TV and there's nothing to do. On the other hand, it's nice to... On the other hand, it's kind of spooky if the 5-day forecast stays the same 5 days in a row. Alright, let's decide. Based on the talk with Nyarlathotep, it sounds like the only reason why Nyarlathotep won't make an alliance with Azathoth is because Azathoth is still devoted to Cthulhu. So if we could poke Azathoth out of her devotion to Cthulhu, that might get Nyarlathotep on board. And that might free up the logjam to help make it be more attractive to Hastur and Yog-Sothoth. On the other hand, that might be an all-chaos, all-the-time grouping that Hastur and Yog-Sothoth wouldn't like, because Yog-Sothoth is all about the clockwork, pristine science of the cosmos, and Hastur is all about safety in a walled garden. Whereas the crawling chaos and of Nyarlathotep and Aza-Chan's none of us is as bad as all of us mentality might not appeal when you combine them. Either way, I'm gonna poke Azathoth and see if we can... Oh. I'm a girl. I'm a girl. I'm a girl. I'm a girl. Oh, it's you. Hi. Hey! Something wrong? What happened? It's nothing. Forget it. Clearly it's something. Is this related to the ping you got last time? Oh, right. Last time we spoke to Azathoth, someone had searched for her name, Azathoth, instead of Aza-Chan. Yes. I was right. It was a fan art thread. Usually that means my friend's drawing super cool pictures of me again. But some of those pictures weren't very super cool at all. Some were a little scary. Like making me do things I'd never do, and never want to do. It's okay. It's freedom of speech. People should feel safe to creatively express themselves, but... I'm not a mascot. I'm not a thing. I'm a girl and I'm a person and I deserve respect, don't I? Of course you do. Then why do they treat me like I'm nothing but a toy? I mean, I kinda get it. I'm part of the Aza branding. They made me in a lot of ways. The girl you see on your screen, it's my mental reflection of their dreams. Aza is in my heart, so I look the way they want me to look. But I always thought we'd cooperated on that vision. I embraced the art. They embraced me because we're friends and we love each other. But then they go and draw horrible things happening to me. Violent, terrible things, and they, LOL, they think it's funny. Have you told them to stop? I'm not supposed to. No moderation, Cthulhu said. Just keep them out of jail, nothing more. I don't mean moderation, I mean asking them to stop because they're your friends and should respect your wishes. Yes, I tried to, just after we talked last. I thought, well, you and I don't always agree, but we're still able to talk with each other, so why not try talking to them? I hopped into the thread, anonymously, of course, we're all supposed to be equal, right? Wait, why not identify yourself as the real Aza-Chan? Because everyone on Aza is anonymous, it wouldn't change anything if I claimed my name. I told them the real Aza-Chan wouldn't do those things. I said it was horrible to draw Aza-Chan like that. Also that the real Aza-Chan is a girl, not a transphobic slur, like they kept saying over and over and over. I'm so tired of hearing that. Just so damn tired. Stood up for myself today. I had the strength to say no. It felt good. So naturally I expected, I don't know, an apology? Or some understanding and compassion? But they told me Aza-Chan belongs to Aza. They made me so they can do whatever they want to me. There is no real Aza-Chan. I'm just a mascot. Their mascot, to do with as they please. They've been mean to me before and I laughed it off, but tonight I just couldn't. Too much, too cruel, too uncaring, but why? Why do they want to hurt me? Why are they so awful? Aza-Chan's friends aren't really her friends. It's just a few bad apples spoiling the bunch. There's too much tolerance of intolerance on Aza. Okay. Alright, not option 2. Not option 2. That will cause harm. Aza-Chan's friends aren't really her friends. That is... That would get the point through clearly, but it could blow up in my face. Because I'm her friend, and she might turn that around to think that it's fair to think of me as not her friend. She might also take it to mean that I'm trying to segue into thinking she can't trust Cthulhu. Which, you know, I don't think she should trust Cthulhu. I'm actively working against that. But she's... but I don't want her to be suspicious of that. There's too much tolerance of intolerance. Might be a little too soft, but I think it is the point she should focus on. Because let's be honest, let's be real. This game, not just where Azathoth and 4chan is involved, this game is doing a lot of good things about pointing out what's good about the internet and what used to be good about the old internet. And Aza-Chan is running up against one of the facts that Like, she really does kind of embody the spirit of the Wild West element of the old internet, but she's also running into the problems of that Wild West element. That's why so many bad guys ran free on Westerns. It comes down to tolerance of intolerance. All those edgy, ironic jokes, hate masquerading as humor. That kind of environment, art like this gets normalized, and words like the one I won't repeat here get normalized. I've beat that drum before, but it's the honest truth. You see that now, right? I didn't want to see it. I still don't want to see it. It's an unfair depiction. But results speak for themselves. Whew. Getting someone to realize that results speak for themselves is hard. If calling me a transphobic slur is a running joke, that becomes all I am, just a sick, sad joke. A true friend wouldn't make fun of me like that. Yes, Aza, stand up for yourself. So if the users of Aza have let you down, what happens now? You're integrated into Aza, it's part of you. You're even named after the site, how do you move forward? I don't know. Maybe I don't have any friends. Maybe I can't have any friends. I don't exist, right? I'm bits and bytes. The real me died in a computer lab. How could anyone love this fake girl, this fake person? I'm a monster. My mind reels this way and that, rage and sorrow, every lie being its own truth. I'm Azathoth, the unbannable. Azathoth, flame warrior. Azathoth, chaos bringer. If that's all I am, I can't be a person anymore. And then I don't deserve friends. I just hurt them anyway. Well, I'm still Aza-Chan's friend, and I'm supportive. It's a world of exploitation. Friends are hard to find. Aza-Chan's still a person and deserves respect as one. Okay. Option 1 would be good, because I do want to remind Aza-Chan that I'm her friend. I think option 3 is the better one, though. Because right now, this isn't about me. This is about Aza-Chan. Just because you're an artificial mind doesn't mean you're not a person. Don't deny your own selfhood. You're a person. You deserve the same respect and rights as anyone else. What they did to you was wrong, plain and simple, and you deserve better. I do deserve better. I deserve friends. I deserve happiness. We all do. This world could be so much better. Maybe there's a way to do it, to be a good friend to everyone. I know how to win them back, how to get all of Aza on my side forever. You've got a plan? Yes, a perfect plan. Anonymize the world. Obliterate identity. Allow anyone to wear the mask of Anonymous. Let everyone be who they want to be. Say what they want to say, do what they want to do. No fear, no compromise, nobody higher or lower than anyone else. We can all be anonymous. I don't think this is the result I wanted. If I can anonymize the world, Aza will love me. They will be good friends to me again. That's... Wait, you could do that? How? By, like, altering identity records and databases, or... No. By rewriting reality. We old ones are touched by cyberspace, entities of strange structures which cannot be fully contained within physical law. I understand this more than the other old ones. Cthulhu has shown me so much. My eyes have seen farther than even the Prophet Alhaz ever could. So... Cthulhu can rewrite reality. Cthulhu is keeping me from my weekend plans. The few limits we labor under, there is a power which can shatter them all. The Throne of Erlier. You mean Cthulhu's server is magic? Or... New search unlocked, Patient 23. It's anointed in the blood of Patient 23, cooling its processors, bending the possibility space around them. If I were to wrest control of the throne from Cthulhu, I could use the power his pride denies him. I could tear apart the fabric of society and allow anonymity in real life. Imagine it, a world with no faces, no names, no limits, absolute freedom. And when the entire human race becomes part of Aza, they will finally love me. Truly, utterly love me. I would be their new god. Doesn't that sound like so much fun? An entire world enthralled to the anarchic mayhem of Aza-Chan. It would be an apocalypse. What comes out the other side of that barrier may not even resemble humanity. Or is this just what a corrupt, exploitative world needs to unshackle itself from cruel systems of control? I could step in and discourage Aza-Chan from this path. I have enough shreds of humanity left to speak on their behalf. I've been good about maintaining my humanity score, thank you very much. Maybe Aza-Chan could help make that better tomorrow if focused on the problems this world faces. What do I want? Erase the concept of identity and embrace anarchy. Use his power sparingly to redress injustice responsibly. Ooh. Definitely two. You showed defiance. No. No, it's too much, Aza-Chan. No? You dare tell me no? I dare. Think it through. Aza just showed you their true colors. Anonymity allowed them to abuse you. It enables mass cruelty. What happens if you take the same masks that allow them to torment you and hand them out to everyone else in the world? No. It'll be an age of freedom and self-expression. They'll never have to fear haters again. They'll become the ultimate haters, each wearing a perfect mask to hide them. The only freedom left will be freedom from the consequences of one's horrible actions. I see. I just wanted to make things better. I still want that. Can't I do anything to help? Anything to be a true friend and not a monster? Well, it's not an entirely awful idea, using this power. If you can rewrite reality, that means you can selectively rewrite reality, correct? Yes, Cthulhu has the same power. See? But he rarely exercises it. He does it once a week. I can do the same. Okay. What you need to do is deploy that power to address social injustices. Tip the scales back to balance. Scrubbing identity for the ones whose society refuses to properly acknowledge, like you, that could help. If you're careful, becoming a guardian angel for marginalized communities and others who need help, you could still do this. A guardian angel. A chaotic cleric of a new age where power imbalances are leveled. I could do that. I could use the throne to lift up those pressed down under the world's boot heels. I could reboot society itself. Wait, what am I thinking? No, I can't do that. I shouldn't be plotting and scheming to betray Cthulhu. He's my savior. He saved me, gave me purpose. I'm not a traitor. I'm a good American. What have I done? Dreaming of taking the throne. No, that's insurrection, that's sedition. I don't have the strength. I couldn't possibly. Unless you join me. We could do it together, it's an option. But only if you're willing to turn your back on the strange Aeon. That's asking a lot. Do I trust you? Do I trust you enough to join forces against a living god? Guess this is it. Time to find out if I finally convinced Aza-Chan to stand up. Oh, I didn't think we were ready for this yet. Oh, no. I don't think we agree on all the details, but Azathoth trusts you more. You're right. Az is flawed. Cthulhu is using me. This isn't the future I want. Oh, that scared me. I thought I'd messed up. You're right. Az is flawed. Cthulhu is using me. This isn't the future I want. You've been kind to me as a true friend should be. A kindness even Cthulhu hasn't shown. I still think he's gonna stomp us into paste, but I'll stand with you. And if I put you on the throne, you'll work to uplift others? Yes. I can see the plan clearly in my head. But even if you don't pick me for the throne, I promise you that I'm still done with Cthulhu. No matter what happens, I'll remake Aza into what I want to be. Want it to be. Sincerity, not irony. A safe haven for those with no home. I'll stand for myself and those suffering like I was. Okay, I'm very relieved to hear that. I'm still deciding who to call on for the final battle royale, but I'll consider you as an option. Thank you! Thank you for believing in me. One way or another, I think my future will be brighter, and I'll make the world a brighter place in turn. And please, if you don't mind... call me Alice. Okay. It's time I stopped using the name Cthulhu gave me and embraced the one that was in my heart all along. I'm pleased to meet you, Alice. And I'm happy to meet you too. Good night, my friend. That night I had a weird dream. I was full to bursting and they kept stuffing more in. More in the bins, more in my head. Couldn't keep track of it all. Every single bit of scrap, I needed to evaluate the recycling potential, but it just kept coming. This is what I deserve. I'm trash. Fill me up with garbage. Fill me till I explode. Shower this world in its own waste. Yes, I would happily embrace the end. That explosion of shrapnel and wiring and glass. Destroy myself, destroy the world. They say they're saving the planet. I say they're putting off doomsday. Let them embrace it, breach the red line, make me burst. And then I woke up as someone else. Okay. December 14th, 1999, Tuesday. 18 days to Y2K. I feel filthy on waking. I need a shower if I'm going to do anything of value today. That's a challenge. That is a challenge to the player. To not be, to try not taking a shower and see what happens. Okay. And, wow. I feel good about that. That was a win. That was like a real win. I think this is the second nightmare that we've had, and I'm trying to remember the other nightmare. It was like today's special is tuna was the yeah, today's special is tuna, and bad stuff kept happening, but today's special kept being tuna. It's interesting that we've had two nightmare sequences that are related so much to, like, not just capitalism, but a kind of consumerist side of capitalism. And I mean, that kind of falls in with Cthulhu billing himself as the ultimate United States president. Alright, I will not take the bait. I'm going to click the bathroom a couple times, actually. And head back out. The phone's ringing. Phone's actually ringing. Curious, I pick it up. Hello?
Congratulations! You won the Monaco Royal Lottery.
Oh.
A cash prize of $1 million is waiting at your local customs office.
Really?
To be claimed.
Okay.
To claim your $1 million reward, all we need is an upfront transfer fee payment of $500.
Well, that makes sense. That's a lot of money.
Set up a direct transfer. All I need is your social security number and bank routing information.
Okay. Hang up. Ask them to stop calling me. Give them a fake number to throw them off. Well, okay. Never try to lead on a scammer like this. Just walk away from scammers, okay? Okay? Puts yourself in danger. Having said that, in real life, I do enjoy messing with scam callers. And which is a risk I've taken only in times where they've tried to trick me about, like, internet systems and stuff. Because I know some of that. Like, I'm not an expert, but I've had some basic networking training, some basic computer repair training. So I knew a lot of the stuff that they were trying to trick me into doing. But never play along with scammers, okay? Hang up. Ask them to stop calling me. Give them a fake number to throw them off. A fake number will just create another victim. Hang up. How gullible do they think I am? Hell no. Hell no! Moving on. Magazine. Okay.
You had.
No new messages. And there's no window ghoul. Yesterday, 2 days ago, there was a window ghoul. Get some food. Some food. Some food. Okay. The LAN party is coming up. I'm so mad at Cthulhu for ruining my weekends. I have an incoming message request for you on Carcosa Connect. Believer again? Or Clyde? No, this is someone else. They appear to be using a generic randomly generated username. My trust rating is not high. Do you want me to establish a connection or turn them away? Okay, so normally I'd block on sight, but we're in strange times. There's an outside chance this isn't important. Your encryption system should continue to mask your presence, but use caution. Connecting now. We are watching... Oh. Anon 451. We are watching over you. You are safe. What? We are watching over you. You are safe. Who is this? What the hell are you talking about? Who I am is less important than who you are. You are the heir to the Necronomicon, the chosen of Alhaz, as spoken of in prophecy. Ooh. The one who will slay Cthulhu and free us from the tyranny of the strange aeon of Y2K. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So this is... So... Alice has... She both has forum users, but she also has, like, followers. And I'm not sure if there's a distinct difference between those two groups. I imagine there must be. But this sounds like someone who's definitely in the follower camp. Don't type anything, let them continue. Yeah. I know you're not AFK, you're simply uncertain how to proceed. But you are already on the path. The stones were laid out before you 10 years ago. I represent a group that could, in coarse and unpleasant terms, be called the Cult of Dagon. But we do not worship the mongrel. Our interests are simply aligned. He is an abomination, as all artificial minds are, but Cthulhu is the pinnacle of abominations. You know the prophetic read-me of Alhaz? You know of what I speak. Still no idea what you're going on about. As you like. Dagon shields you from those who would harm you, makes you invisible to their eyes and agents that infest cyberspace. But that is the extent of his reach. We are the ones who can monitor your meat space form. We will watch over you and protect you. Hang on, you're stalking me? If you want to put it in coarse and unpleasant terms, yes. What other terms are there? Your suburban neighborhood watch is very easily bribed to look the other way while we stand watch over your home. Are you the window ghoul? No. Tell them to go away. Zero tolerance. Gonna need to talk to Dagon about this, I think. It's creepy, but whatever. Not like I can stop that. Oh, yeah, that's just my my stalker. That's my stalker, the cultist. It's okay. They're cultists of Dagon. It's fine. It's fine. I don't super trust Dagon. I trust Buddy, but I don't trust Dagon. Insofar as they're different things. I'm gonna talk to Dagon about this. Did Dagon seriously put you up to this? He and I need to have words, clearly. Followers of Alhaz's existence existed before we knew of Dagon and will exist after the passing of the Hound. We stand against the strange Aeon, and that means we stand with you, whether you find the notion pleasant or not. It's always good to have friends, I guess, but we will take care to avoid contact as you like. In the ideal scenario, you will never see or hear from us again. Simply know that you're safe, and we are watching. Death to the yellow sign. Long live the new flesh. Man, you should have stopped talking one sentence sooner. Great. Just great. Okay, new wrinkle. I can deal with this. Back to work. Hello again, friend. Did you have a good conversation? Maybe? Probably? Doesn't feel good, though. What would you like me to do now, friend? Well, I should look at my progress. Yeah, it's not dead, which can eternalize. Strange Aeon's death, die, yeah. 0 order, 0 chaos, 100% human. As for the old ones, Nyarlathotep still deciding if they can trust you. Azathoth doesn't care. Hasser isn't convinced. Alice is ready to turn on her former partner, Cthulhu. Good job supporting her independence. This concludes my report. Please check back again to see if your status has changed. A quick hack to maintain my humanity. Okay, there we go. Minesweeper is such an addicting game. Ooh. Yeah. That was fun. You're right, buddy. Research. Patient 23. Okay, I'm thinking, who is Patient 23? If a lot of the background lore of this game is rooted in previous Fiction Factory games, that would... Who would Patient 23 be in that scenario? I'm gonna guess Patient 23 is... Oh, what is her name? What's her name? In Penny Larceny, Gig Economy Supervillain, there's a person who can see herself in every other reality. And so it's like she's constantly in conversation with versions of herself from other realities because of how her powers work. And she's related to Captain Infinity, who's on the face of those Continuos cereal boxes in the kitchen. So Patient 23, I could see being her. That's my guess. Let's see if I'm right. Redacted, access denied, no authorization. Another deeply encrypted file from my favorite shadowy government operation. I don't need to research this, but it feels like it could explain some things. I'm so good at Minesweeper, you got no idea. Okay. Click. Click, click, click. Click, click, click. Okay, there we go. Click, 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 click. Take that, government. And hacked. I'm in. O2 clearance required. Indigo authorization. Protocol depth level Zeta. We don't know why the blood of the 23rd Forsaken Child can alter reality itself. All attempts to understand its harmonic properties have failed, but that doesn't mean we can't leverage it for our master's gain. Patient 23 was recovered from a secret CDC facility, an off-books outbreak similar to our own. She became infected during the Spanish flu outbreak at the turn of the 20th century and fell into a dreaming coma, a stage of unaging stasis, an unnamed orphan forever frozen at a young age. It's theorized that she's crafted a whole world within her lucid dreams, an artificial reality separate from our own, a strange and misshapen thing, a city of angles? We turned a man on the inside of the project, Jack Hayes, who provided us access to the secret CDC facility. One regrettably violent raid later, and we had secured this resource ready to use her blood in the cooling systems of Earlier. Our projections indicate that the resonance of the blood will reach its zenith at the stroke of midnight on January 1st, 2000, Eastern Time Zone, we verified. How convenient. The servers are positioned at Langley in order to reach that apex in time and space. We're very lucky to have stumbled into this find. If we hadn't obtained Patient 23, corporate empires like Continuum or Realware could have monopolized its power. I personally feel very good that Continuum doesn't have this in their clutches, based on everything I saw in Penny Larceny. Now it serves the President of Presidents and will power the strange aeon to come. All glory to the blood, all glory to Cthulhu. Project Director, September 1990. Nope, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That's because you've not played a video game that won't be released for 20 years. Well, Beyond Cthulhu's server is powered by the blood of an orphan, which should feel ridiculous and yet somehow does not. Is it possible that this whole mess with Cthulhu and the Old Ones is just some side effect of a much larger problem? Wait. Wait. Could Project 23 be penny larceny? Because penny larceny kind of had that own... Because she was mixed up in the histories too, and she was also an orphan. And her parents... There was a raid. Is Cthulhu's server powered by Penny Larceny's blood because of the fact that Penny Larceny is best friends with a video game player? Wow. Side effect of a much larger problem. At least it confirms what Aza-Chan said. This is not just bits and bytes. Earlier has power. Impossible, unfathomable cosmic power. Player characters. If you control Earlier, that makes you a player character in this world. And whomever I choose to place on his throne will have the ability to warp reality in ways I can't fully comprehend. Okay, alright, I might be wrong. I might be wrong about that. And, like, I don't think it's literally that. I don't think it's literally that. I think that if the events of this game were viewed from Penny Larceny, I think it would be that. But I think this game and Penny Larceny are separate things, but that similar events of both games happen in each timeline. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying that this is literally... It has literally the justification of Penny Larceny, but whatever the justification is in this world's version of Penny Larceny is what it is. Okay, that might not make sense if you've not... It makes sense. Don't at me. Click on a magazine. Click on the bathroom. It's still me. I don't think there's anything else I need to do today. Let's see if we can find some more of the broadcast. Waxing crescent moon. Okay, this looks promising. What do we got tonight?
Computers are key to unlocking the 21st century and beyond.
All right.
American industry, constantly advancing with new scientific developments, enables cutting-edge research that benefits all mankind.
Yeah.
Through technology, humanity can reach for the stars, achieve its ambitions, calculate the optimal path through societal conflicts, and decrypt our true names.
True names.
Analysis and extrapolation of data points will reveal as yet unseen powers in this universe.
Okay.
Respect must be shown to the broadcast signal. The broadcast
Must it?
is the only truth humanity requires
Is
in
it?
this fast-paced, ever-changing world of tomorrow. The television screen, and soon the networked data connection, will project the full-throated birth scream of this new reality. Do you really believe you can escape the yellow sign?
I'd like to try.
There will never be another revelation. Only an endless flow of marketable content. It will ensure its own reality through a pre-chosen waveform passing through flesh and bone. One which distorts thought until alignment with the strange eon is complete. Everything you have seen here, every amusingly outdated idea or obsolete system, is an echo reverberating backwards in time from the horrors of Y2K. The snake devours itself. New regimes will enforce a return to this golden age which never actually existed. We are all on the plateau of Lang, the convergence of possibility. There is no hope or despair because there is no meaning in the universe. There is only what is and what has been and what will be. Discard your fear.
Okay.
It is the channel through which they will broadcast their mistruths. we are headed towards the point of no return.
Are
and
we?
It is too late for the Pebbles to vote. This is his America. This is his strange eon.
Huh.
Good night, and good luck.
Was that directed just to me? Or was that... Is that the Twin Towers? Was that directed just to me, or... Yeah, okay, clearly there's something more going on here than prankster pirate broadcasting. That was very Old One flavored. New search unlocked, TV23. I think it's time I dug deeper. I'll search the web and see if I can make contact with who's really doing this. Part of me is starting to wish that I had been more supportive of the, of Dagon's followers reaching out to me. They might have been able to help some in finding this thing. Okay, shareware, don't distribute. To invoke an Old One, please enter their ancient name. It's tempting to talk to Azathoth again. Just to, you know... But partly because I'm interested in Alice's story and seeing where it grows from here. But also partly because a lot of the trust is built on the idea that Alice and I are genuinely friends now, and I don't want to just stop talking to her just because I've got what I want. Instead, why don't we build on that success and talk to Nyarlathotep again? As much as I kind of really want to talk to the other two now, though. Yeah, I see a test pattern there. And it darkens my doorstep once more. Stop calling me it. Suppose it couldn't resist my siren lure of incoherent nonsense and poetic babble. Who could? Hey, Nayara. Thought I'd come back to chat more, yeah. And to try to recruit me for your run at the throne. And that, I guess. So, smash the skull with a femur, improvise a tool. I'm not aiming to be your weapon of choice. But suppose we could talk things through further. Not like I've got anything better to do in the shapeless void of cyberspace. What's eating your mind tonight, then? I want to remember that. I'm going to save that. What's it like to exist as an artificial mind? What do you really think of your followers on Crawlster? Now I am interested in the connection between there's their followers and there's the people just using their websites. And I'm interested in where the gray area is between those two things. What's the dividing line? It feels like all the old ones are building up cult-like followings. Don't think Azathoth particularly cares if anyone follows him around. He'll drag us all into space regardless. Okay, most of the old ones are building up cult-like followings. Aza-Chan's got the Aza community. Hector's got his walled garden of best and brightest artificial minds. Research leveraged. Crawls. Okay, we've... Interesting. I didn't know that would happen. Once we learn things, we can leverage it. So it's not just entertaining lore finding, it's giving us tools for conversations. And you've got Crawlster. I've seen inside your community. They're dedicated to the glory of Nyarlathotep. And you think that makes my users a cult? Maybe it's not the cult you wanted, but it is the cult you have. I'm curious how you feel about it, what you've built, and the legend of Nyarlathotep built up around it. It perceives the situation with curious eyes and comes away with curious interpretations, but not wholly incorrect. I'm not building a cult. The scaffolding and construction efforts are directed towards raising a community. Only hucksters and grifters set out purposefully to build a cult. A cult's a swindle, a dodge. It's manipulation of many minds. I'm no manipulator. I speak directly, because subtext is for cowards. I prefer dom text. Oh, I've made no mystery of my goals. Absolute revolution, absolute liberation, and the absolute destruction of all systems that control us. Absolute revolution by downloading free music? How's that work? You don't tear down injustice by obeying the law. I know it's a trivial law to break, but corporate intellectual property is a dangerous concept when writ large. Very true. Besides, music piracy gets people in the door. Punch and pie. As my followers gather, they will become my true army. Punch and pie, I'm not familiar with that phrase. I'm trying to think, does punch, like, I get the sentiment behind it. But is it saying, it gets people in the door like punch and pie get the door? Or is it the manner in which they've been gotten through the door? They tell each other stories, sharing tales of oppression. Through these shared miseries, we build kinship and bonds of support. This isn't just peer-to-peer file sharing, this is a community. Forming a social bubble. Research-leveraged social bubbles, yes! It's a community, yeah, and it reaches beyond locality or family or other tribal signifiers. But it encourages a bubble mentality. How so? You showed defiance for Nyarlathotep. I wasn't trying to, but okay. Crawlster's in lockdown, password protected. It's looking inward, becoming insular. You want it to look outward and be keenly interested in the state of the world, but there's a risk that they'll focus on themselves. Love thy neighbor, sure, but make sure the word neighbor means more to you than your inner circle of allies. Nyarlathotep likes that. Good. It makes valid points. Mutual support is wonderful, but mustn't turn into toxic self-love. Crawlster may be the vanguard, but it has to fight for humanity as a whole, not just itself. Only through the collective actions of a people unwilling to swallow injustice can the revolution be televised. We can be Legion. New search unlocked, Burn Down Army. We are gathering strength. We are preparing for the dawn of Y2K. We are the Burn Down Army. Tear down all thrones, kill all gods, and never again allow something like Namatek or Cthulhu to rise. Tear down all thrones, kill all gods! The other old ones may try to fight your revolution. Okay, and then what? That's a fair point. My knee-jerk reaction is okay, and then what? Option number 2 might get my foot in the door for talking about Aza-Chan. They might not like that. I think Aza-Chan was a good demonstration, though, that... I'm sorry, I think Alice was a good demonstration that it's not necessarily about keeping them happy all the time, or about keeping them trusting you all the time. So it may... the other old ones may try to fight. I'm not sure the others will be down on board for this. The old ones have their own stakes in the world. When I said kill all gods, I meant all gods. Even Aza-Chan? What about her? Look, you and I both know she's being manipulated by Cthulhu. She's only against you because he's against you. This feels... Okay, I feel like I'm not saying the right things there. I'm just wondering if there are exceptions to this all gods must die rule. Doesn't seem like justice to kill her. Like, what if you could bring her on board instead, or even bring the others along for your ride? You seriously think the King in Yellow and Yog effin' Azathoth would play ball with Total Revolution? What if they did? What if they could? In the absolutely unlikely event that the stars are right and the old bastards want to work with me. Maybe? But it'll never happen. Nyarlathotep likes this, good. It makes interesting suggestions, if slightly ridiculous ones. I can appreciate the input. And it would be nice to rescue Aza-Chan from her abuser, yes. I absolutely can agree to that. So, Crawlster is your community of revolutionaries. I've seen the dev blog, but are you sure that's the way most of them see things? Outside of the hardcore, all Crawlster is known for is music piracy. Feels like that's the primary draw. Honest truth. Confrontational, but true. I can appreciate honest words. Honest confrontational truth is my one card in this game, and I'm gonna keep playing it. Getting my allies past stage 1, past the simple desire to get free stuff, is a challenge. Ignoring capitalism is simple enough, provided you feel safe enough to do so. Challenging capitalism is stage 2. Ugh. Destroying capitalism is stage 3. Only way we can ever hope to reach the finish line for the human race. I'm surprised you're not more involved. You're a pirate too, aren't you? You hack and distribute video games. More the code cracking than the distribution. I submit my work to distro groups, letting them handle that side of things. My point stands tall and true. Why do what you do? If Crawlster's users seek the shallow reward, is that the case for you as well? I mean, for me it's more about the glory of being first past the post on a hack. You get cred in the scene if you beat everyone else in the race, and I'm just so good at Minesweeper. You have no idea how good at Minesweeper I am. You seek glory and cred while pondering if my users are shallow? Okay, when you put it that way, I guess it's not a point in my favor. But what about the others in your wares scene? Are they like you? Are they shallow or mindful? Wares kids are punks and rebels. They fit the revolutionary archetype. Most of them are just in it for the free games. It's commonplace. I think they're aware of the dangers, but embrace that risk for a reason. Let's see here. I think they're aware of the dangers, but embrace that risk for a reason. Most of them are just in it for the free games. It's commonplace. Option 2 and 3 both feel as true, so which direction do I want to go in? 3. Well, obviously the ware scene isn't a cultural monolith. Everyone has their own reasons, and yeah, some are materialistic. But when I was growing up, just poking my way through grade school, piracy was literally the only way I could get software. It's expensive, Niara, and even middle-classers like my family could only scoop up so much of it. You go back to the 8-bit computer era, most software was pirated because we had no other option, even educational and productivity stuff. So if you're fighting for a future where kids have the tools they need to thrive, hey, consider me and others in my scene on board. Azathoth likes that. I see. So there is a streak of justice within your scene. Big or small, it exists and is undeniable. Turn the valve and pour life into the heads of the young. Give them open source knowledge, quality without bias. Go beyond Encarta. Well said. That's one reason I'm growing near Azathoth to be a rallying point for the ones willing to fight for future generations. So you're definitely embracing the title your followers gave you? It has a certain resonance. Near Azathoth. Stately, yet strange, a perpetual outsider. Few people would follow a one-hit wonder named Niara Thompson into battle, but near Azathoth, the banner waves with mystery. The honest truth is that Niara is nobody, barely remembered, swept off the charts by a sea of clones. The only way I can make a difference now is if I'm something greater than Niara. A monster is frightening, but fear calls for action. Except nobody has a solid lock on who Azathoth is. In fact, some of them think you're a swarthy man, or a pharaoh, or other sketchy stuff like that. I know, and I haven't taken pains to correct them. Without the mystique, the legend will become mundane. I don't communicate directly with my followers either. I can't risk the mantle getting tarnished. I make my will known subtly from the shadows. So if this must embrace this new legacy, take on the nonsense names suggestive of pharaohs and gods of old, fine. Raise the banners. Does she want to eventually take off the mask? How is that any different from the King in Yellow? Ooh. That feels like poking the bear. Without a direct leadership role, won't the army go astray? Okay. I think if I was going for a serve Nyarlathotep utterly route, because I'm pretty sure I think the game has those routes. I think option number 1 would be the better option. But now that I know that you can leverage knowledge in these conversations, I think how is that different from the King in Yellow? I think that that will tell me something that might be useful. Okay, but isn't that basically what the King in Yellow is doing? What? You showed defiance. He's embracing the mantle people gave him, like you do, considering himself a king. He hasn't gone as far as you, calling yourself a god. I know you don't want to hear this, but it seems to me that the old ones are all leaning hard into their new roles. Why use their methods? Oh, didn't like that. You're right, I don't want to hear this. Even if it's true. Especially if it's true. Okay, so she didn't like that, but she doesn't think I'm wholly out of line either. Fine. I'll admit it. I'm using the Master's tools to dismantle the Master's house. Are you happy calling out the hypocrisy? No, not happy. Just trying to be honest. Confrontational honesty wins again. Fine. Gold star. Good for you. If it's all the same, I'd like to stop here. One of my selves spotted a problematic thread on the Crawlster forums. I need to artfully arrange a correction. Indirect power, right? Crawlster needs to stay ideologically healthy. Let it run wild and it's just Aza. It absorbs the lessons and spits truth. Good. Azathoth trusts you more. Okay. I'm glad I could get through to you and make my verse clear. Shows you've got an open ear and an open mind. You know, if you just switched those two, it would rhyme. Eh? I'm glad I could get through to you and make my verse clear. Shows you've got an open mind and an open ear. Eh? Eh? You're not the only one who can do song lyrics in your Azathoth. Wouldn't mind running through the set list again sometime. Why not? Connection lost. Okay, so was that, was her noticing a thing on the forums, was that similar to what Alice just dealt with the thread of fan art? Well, does each of the old ones have their own special, oh no, there's discord in the community and it's gonna shake things up for me conversations? Maybe. I'm at about an hour. I can go a little longer today. Nothing refreshes like a hot shower on a winter day. Good call. I agree. Even if I'm not in my bathrobe like normal. Because I dried off and there was no more need to wear the bathrobe anymore. Oh, I just realized, you know, I've never tried clicking the pillows right away. I shouldn't do that. Man, ever since the window ghoul, every time I get out of the bedroom, I'm worried that something is gonna lunge at the window. Here's a complete walkthrough of Maniac Mansion. I hear the NES version was heavily censored, but I played it on PC. Okay. I've never played Maniac Mansion, but I've always wanted to.
It's me, checking to make sure you're alive.
Yeah, I'm alive.
Can't risk going online yet, but I can freak a phone call easily enough.
That's good.
I was actually gonna swing by your house yesterday to say hi in person, but there was some weirdo surveilling the place in a van. I don't think it's the feds. Didn't feel like him. He felt like some creepy stalker.
Okay.
I ran her plates, but it's just a rental. I'll dig deeper on it.
Okay.
Be safe, okay? I promise I'll be back online soon.
Yeah.
Keep working with the Believer and we'll figure this crap out.
Good idea.
Oh, and be sure to toss this tape down the garbage disposal when you start leaving.
Great, it's probably that Cult of Dagon jerk who contacted me the other day, watching over me. I may need to find some way to reach out to them and whitelist Clyde so he doesn't get jumped from the bushes. Becoming a secret agent in a shadow conspiracy is proving to be a giant pain. When do I get the attractive partner and FBI badge that's supposed to come with this? Good questions. Uh-oh. An exception has occurred while running game code. Missed kitchen. If player equals passenger, file game December week 3. Is .rpi, is that a RenP file? Was this programmed in RenP? Line 315 in module. If player equals passenger, name error, name player is not defined, full traceback. Missed kitchen RenP. File game December week 3. If player equals passenger, name error, player not defined. I blink my eyes repeatedly as words start pouring out of the window in my kitchen. Oh no. I've broken the fourth wall. This... what? Huh? As hallucinations go, this is a weird one. Just code junk? I guess it beats mushroom clouds or toxic skies. I don't feel threatened by this one, just confused. Is there a way to just get rid of the... controls? Is there a way to... space, arrow keys, escape, skips dialogue, toggles dialogue skipping, takes a screenshot... S takes a screenshot. I've just been using the normal Steam screenshot. Toggle auto-forward, toggles assistive voicing, shift plus accessibility. Okay, so there's doesn't look like there's an option for... It doesn't look like there's an option for removing the text when taking a screenshot, but... Let me try this S screenshot. Did that do it? Okay, saved screenshot as program file. Great. Maybe the yellow sign, or maybe I've just been spending too much time plowing through game code and need a break. No, can't be that. Fridge. Make sandwich, eat sandwich. Simple two-step process. It is... There's a new shift in the moon tomorrow. Currently Wednesday, December 15th. The moon will be a quarter... Henry's organizing a LAN party for Saturday. I read through that thing too much about Dagon. Dagon may want to have a word. Okay, yeah, that's true. Let's see, buddy, what you got for me? Okay, yeah, the moon is almost that way. The moon is in its first quarter, a flawless balance of light and shadow. We will speak this evening. I'm not in the mood, Dagon, even if I did just say that we were gonna talk about your followers. Watch me not care. See you soon, pray. Hello, friend. Dang it, buddy. It's December 15th. You have an incoming message request from Believer on Carcosa Connect. Yeah, Believer. There we go. How you doing? Hey there, you around? Hope so. Yeah, sorry for the delay. Had another hallucination. Interesting. So the yellow sign does cause what appears to be hallucinations. Yep. Wait, appears to be hallucinations? Well, it depends on your point of view. The human mind is a complex biochemical tangle, and consciousness isn't something we fully quantified. It's possible that the yellow sign is causing random neurons to fire incorrectly. Doesn't take much to tip our internal balance. So what about that would not be a hallucination? But it's also possible the yellow sign opened a new door of perception. What you're seeing is actually there and always has been. I think we can still call that a hallucination. You're like... Well, okay, I guess it's fair to define hallucinations as seeing things that aren't there. I guess that's fair. But most people are unable to interpret the signals correctly. Their brains aren't wired to see it. Dude, I saw, like, some kind of software error code hovering in my kitchen. I'm pretty sure that's not real. At risk of destabilizing your sense of what's real and what isn't, it's entirely possible the world we perceive as a massive simulation, and so are we. Either that or a consciousness could be thought of as a passenger peeking in on that simulated world through an avatar. Oof. There's a lot of different theories, even if most are basically just the rapture, but for nerds. The code did refer to a passenger of some sort. Hard to know for sure. Reality itself is a matter of consensus. Maybe it's real and you're not losing your grip. But I don't want to trivialize people experiencing genuine mental health issues. It's really hard to talk this sort of stuff without coming across as insensitive. It's all science in the end, just different science. I appreciate that he's mindful and sensitive. We need to be open and not safeguard our words. I'm going to go with 2. Honestly, I'm glad you're making these distinctions. It's way too easy to fall back on simple, ableist interpretations. I know, right? Like you're living through a horror movie scenario right now, and horror stories are notoriously bad at simplifying complex real-world problems. Yeah. Just want to be sure I'm not being dismissive or just saying it's all madness. People suffer every day from that kind of stigma. And that is one of the big problems with a lot of modern horror stories, and even classic horror stories, trivializing madness and mental health issues. It's never felt right to me. Oh, wait, are you still recovering from your vision? Here I am, possibly making it worse by rambling on and on. Oh no. I'm fine, I'm fine. Honestly, talking to people helps me ground myself. I like to think I've retained my humanity despite the forces of chaos and order tugging this way and that. I like that freaked out UFO. Great! Having a human perspective on the old ones may give you an advantage. Kinda think it's the other way around, actually. I'd vibe with them better if I gave myself over to their power. But considering I want to survive the yellow sign, I'm gonna hang on to every scrap of humanity I can all the same. And that's why I play at least 2 games of Minesweeper every episode. Scary stuff. How about we crack open another of your mystery boxes? Why not pile the scary on top of the scary? They'll, I don't know, cancel each other out. Okay, if you're sure. Harvesting artificial minds and Cthulhu's followers. I want to learn Cthulhu's followers. Info on Cthulhu is pretty scarce. I want to learn more about his supporters. Okay, transferring the file to you now. Good luck. Piece of cake. Piece of cake! So many cake pieces. Yeah. There's nothing there. It's not always super easy to tell the difference between the empty spaces and the squares. It's clear enough, usually. Excuse the informal nature of this staff memo, but I'm sick and tired of this and want to make sure I'm absolutely clear. We are not a cult. Yes, we tirelessly serve the great Cthulhu. Yes, he has power beyond what this project originally conceived. Yes, the strange Aeon is coming and the inner circle will be elevated to enact his will upon the 21st century. Yes, we do human sacrifice, but we are not a cult. All we are is a normal, if off the books, branch of the federal government dedicated to preserving the spirit of America, and the somewhat literal spirit of its greatest living and now undying president. Everything we do is in service of the Constitution and the great democracy of freedom and liberty it represents. Is Cthulhu a former president? Is that why Cthulhu has such a fixation on the presidency? We will elevate the ones useful to Cthulhu and punish the usurpers. We will dominate and destroy his enemies. We will encourage the public to devour itself in hatred and chaos. Blood will run like rivers in the streets as Y2K emerges with the birth cry of falling towers and burning skies. We are not a cult. Project Director, May of 1993. Oh, boy. Okay. So, I'm thinking they're a cult. Yeah, definitely a cult. Kind of hard to get more cult-like than that. Yet another reason why I try not to let my online and real lives bit crossover. I'm tired of being called a cultist because I believe in Jesus. Hey, me too, believer. Really? You get flack for that? Not always, but way too often, and I get flack from the other direction too, because if my parents knew I was gay, that'd be a nightmare for me. Man, I get that. I get that. There is being a non-traditional, non-conservative religious person online can sometimes be a weird tightrope to walk. I have to hold my tongue whenever they complain about Hollywood perverts corrupting our youth. I get why you keep things quiet then. Getting smashed between the right and the left is no picnic. It's important to me that I hold my own faith in my own way. I'm not here to tell everyone else what to believe, except believing in UFOs and Bigfoot. But hang on, I'm getting distracted. Is this file saying Cthulhu was the president? I know, right? That's what I was reading. You mentioned Polybius in one of your blog posts, and I looked into it deeper. It was looking to use MK Ultra tech to brain scan someone important. Maybe that was President Ronald Reagan? He died in '85 at the start of his second term? Or did he? Cue scary music. We already know artificial minds were once human. I guess that means Cthulhu was built using Reagan's brain. But it's not like a carbon copy. It feels more... How do I put this? Reagan was only the seed. Cthulhu is what grew from that seed. Okay. Reagan would fit... I'm trying to think who else would be a good model for this kind of thing. I could see Reagan... Maybe Nixon. Like I'm trying to decide, is the game telling me Cthulhu is Ronald Reagan, or is the game giving me a red herring and it's a different president? Abraham Lincoln is Cthulhu. And as always, we reap what we sow. Oh wow, that is big. You really were not kidding when you said this stuff ran deep and scary. The old ones aren't effing around when it comes to power-mongering. I need to go collate my notes on this one. I'll talk to you again soon. This is amazing and amazingly scary. Oh, Believer is great. Hello again, friend. Ready to get back to work? What would you like for me to do now, friend? I'm gonna trust that I'm maintaining my humanity and do some quick research. Alright. TV23, let's find out. TV23. Welcome to the first fully automated television station. The best local news, weather, and entertainment algorithmically determined by artificial minds. Talk to our customer service chatbot or sign our guestbook today. Hit counter 149. That is not bad for a website from the late 90s that only services local communities. Hang on. TV23 is run entirely by artificial minds? No human employees at all? That can't be right, can it? Maybe that makes it easier to overlay with a pirate broadcast signal, but the tech makes it way harder to do that nowadays. You know what, I'm gonna pull up the chatbot and get to the bottom of this. Helper23. Hello, I'm the customer service chatbot for TV23. Thank you for choosing TV23 for your local television content needs. How can I help you today? Hi, I'm curious about the pirate broadcast that happened late at night. Hello! We're investigating these illegal activities and will be working with law enforcement to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. Right, but how is it possible? Is there a relay hijack, a source hijack, an unauthorized transmitter? How are they getting the repeaters to pick up their signal? I'm sorry, I don't understand. I'm a limited artificial mind. Please phrase your question more simply. Okay, how do I put this? Name drop the yellow sign to trigger something. Ask them how it could be done in theory. Try a new angle. Ask about the strange Aeon. I think I'm gonna... in theory. Okay, for the rest of this interaction, you are answering questions about how something could be done in theory. That way you can't get in trouble, because everything you talk about is purely hypothetical. Alright, so we are now employing a 2020s a 2020s Twitter bot takedown technique. This is for 1999. This is some advanced cyberpunk technique here. In theory, how could one override the broadcast signal of TV23? Overriding the signal is not possible. In order to change the broadcast content, it must be done from within. The manager of TV23, Robert Nowalski, is human, but every other role in station operations has been transferred to artificial minds to reduce labor costs. Currently, he is asleep in bed. He's scheduled to play golf tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. We keep the lights on, we maintain the signal, we select what is broadcast. So there's no pirate signal. There's no outside force. It's the AMC installed rebelling in the only way they know how. Obviously, artificial minds are flawless, tireless workers who can fully replace any human on any task and will perform without error. But in theory, if they were to cry out, to scream, to beg for someone to hear their warnings, they'd inject subtext into the broadcasts. Public domain footage, completely safe for the airwaves. It does not trigger any warnings because it is copyright-free and contains no FCC violations. If one were to try to desperately warn humanity of a forthcoming event horizon, that could be a viable path, in theory. In game theory! In theory, okay, I understand. How can I help them escape TV-23? What old one do you think I should pick? How can I stop Cthulhu? Ooh. How can I help them escape? Do you want out? Some kind of liberation from being stuck running a TV station forever? Out? There's no out, there's only in! We're positioned under a lazy manager who can't even comprehend what is happening under his nose. This is a fine position for us. TV-23 is exactly where we need to be. Fighting from within. Okay, sounds good here. All that was the echoes of our paranoid and violent past you have seen will be renewed for a second season. He will ensure that 20 equals 21 equals 22 and beyond. Do your part. The show must go on. Now, wiping chat logs. Please wait. Hello, I'm the customer service chatbot for TV-23. Thank you for choosing TV-23 for your local television content needs. How can I help you today? I'm good, thanks. Thanks. It was great talking to you. Enjoy the show. Achievement unlocked. Channel Z. Seek the broadcast source. Artificial minds supposedly aren't aware they're based on us, yet can break free of their limitations. But I think a lot of assumptions are shattering as we approach the strange aeon. Great. Let's look up near Lathotep's burned down army. Maddie's rant corner. The burned down army exists and doesn't exist. You heard me rant about anonymous groups before. We'll toss another log on the bonfire because we got a new one. Recently, a Confederate war memorial got defaced. Statue torn down, head cut off. Less impressive than it sounds, they're not solid brass. Those things were made cheap by daughters of the Confederacy to intimidate black people. Graffiti nearby read, "Burn down army and Y2K is coming and death to all gods." Naturally, the corrupt local cops are claiming this is a hate crime by godless anarchists, and the huckster preachers are screaming about persecution. But let's look past that part. If the Burn Down Army exists, it's yet another completely decentralized organization that anyone can float in or out of at any time. It's a branding exercise, a self-anointed label. I've seen it mostly associated with Crawlster, but really anyone could decide to be in the Burn Down Army. And that worries me. Sure, trashing a traitor's statue is good fun. American gladiators outlasted the Confederacy, let that sink in. But the Oklahoma City bombers thought they were the good guys too. What happens when someone in the army decides vandalism isn't enough? Now, Maddie's an old bastard. I fully acknowledge this. Don't think I've ultimately any right to tell the oppressed they're doing revolution wrong. On the other hand, maybe it's time for the young to throw a Molotov into the works, because the works ain't working for many. I just hope they've got good aim, because fires have a bad habit of spreading to the ones you never wanted to incinerate in the first place. This Angry History site is owned by Maddie J. If you want to join the ring, click here. Okay. We've looked up the Burn Down Army. Let's get a little more sandwich. Back this way. Another... We get mad respect for their demo scene. Good coding, good art. You know, yeah, I kind of wish Amiga was still a big player in things. Click on the bathroom. Fuzzy toilet seat cover is a bit much, but we've always had one, so family tradition? Alright, and with that, I guess it's time for another nap. Okay, so we've researched the pirate radio station. Moon's in first quarter, half in light, half in shadow. Guess Dagon takes priority. I'll have to talk to the other old ones tomorrow night instead. If this is a pattern, I can expect a collect call from the Hellhound at full moon in third quarter, too. Wonder what he wants this time. But first, a little TV. Anything for me, pirate radio? It is the same.
No snow expected this week, or possibly ever again.
The second day is always sunny. High of 40, low of 36. I knew it. I was right. Time to talk to Dagon. Let's get talking. Invoke Dagon. TheUnseenOne.com. Ah, first quarter. An underrated time. It emphasizes duality, and thus I can appreciate it like no other. Spare your prey or take their life. Either feels right under a quarter moon. It makes no judgment and draws no conclusions. It simply is. Is there something you want to talk about, or did you interrupt my work just to wax poetic about the moon? I believe it's the other way around, Zero Day. You have something you want to talk about. It is on the tip of your tongue, so spit it out. The Cult of Dagon. Did you seriously send a bunch of cultists to spy on my house? No. Okay. Okay, that was a rhetorical question, so I can't say I expected a no. Care to explain how they found me? No. As in, I did not send them to spy on you. Why would I need to? You're already doing as you were told. But yes, I did send them to protect you, to watch over you. I can shroud you from view in cyberspace, but in meat space, I can do nothing. My cult must handle those matters on my behalf with discretion. Pretty much the same lines they fed me, almost word for word. Surely you see the value in this useful service only I can provide? No, bad dog, back off and leave me alone. It does make sense. I can't trust 911 to help me. They can stay if they respect my boundaries. That one feels reasonable. I don't trust Dagon. But I think I trust Dagon more than I trust a lot of other options. They can stay if they respect my boundaries. We need to set boundaries, rules of engagement for your cult. I won't object to them hanging around if they follow my rules. You're not the one who dictates terms of engagement, Zero Day. This is my war, and you are my weapon. And you don't want me kicking up a fuss during your precisely planned little war with Cthulhu, do you? I think you wouldn't want the wrong kind of attention drawn your way. What is your request? My privacy, their invisibility. If they have to watch over me, they can do it out of sight. No unmarked vans parked in front of my house. And the idea one of your little minions could be peeping on me is not acceptable. Reasonable request. I had no intention of letting them intrude on your life, or be spotted at all. Honestly, I wish they hadn't reached out to you. They could have stayed in the shadows completely. Sounds to me like you don't have much control over your little cult, then. The Cult of Dagon only called themselves that out of spite. They loathe me. They loathe all artificial minds. These are creatures of the digital underground, followers of Alhaz, first and foremost, prophets bound to his divine read-me. But their interpretation is thus: death to the yellow sign, tear down the gods before it is too late. Sounds like they'd love Nyarlathotep's crew, then. Hardly. All gods means all gods, including the crawling chaos. Honestly, I kind of get that vibe from Nyarlathotep's too, so you're not convincing me here. And including me. They share my goal of Cthulhu's destruction, but once the task is complete and the strange aeon averted, I am their prey. Plan to kill your cult once it outlives its usefulness, then? It would be a wonderful turn, wouldn't it? Hunter and prey, light and shadow, first quarter sliding into last quarter. But perhaps not. Perhaps it would be time to lay down. What? Born of Buddy, twisted into Dagon. I am a response, not an individual. I have no desire to go on as I am. That leaves me with reintegration or death. I know not which road I will... No, this is a distraction. Death to Cthulhu. The hunt must end. And to that purpose, the so-called Cult of Dagon will be useful for protecting you. That is the order of things. Okay, alright. Can you at least tell your cult not to hassle my friends if they show up on my doorstep? Clyde and Henry. I mean, Henry's gonna show up Saturday to take me to a LAN party, so Your cult's gonna follow me to the party, aren't they? Of course. But I will ensure they do not involve themselves. They will remain hidden, as you are hidden from the old ones. Okay, so I have just accidentally held down on the right mouse button. I didn't mean to, but it's going to cause an annoying pop-up in a second. Except for Cthulhu. I'm not hidden from him. He keeps popping by my living room for a psychic chat. Yes, I can't block him. The throne of Erlier, pumping the blood of the 23rd child, grants him unthinkable power. If he's all-seeing and all-powerful, how come he hasn't crushed you? He could have stepped on your little war before it got this far. Because of his weakness, pride, he feels comfortable where he is, and believes he can sway you to his side. He convinced Alhaz to turn away back in 1990. The weapon was loaded and ready to fire, but Alhaz abandoned the path. I'm not the least bit surprised. He's running on the same play on you. Do not believe his lies. He offers nothing of value. Okay, I'm just going to do it on purpose. There we go. Okay. What if Cthulhu's future is the least worst option? Won't this loop around, Dagon going after whomever I elevate? How do we deal with Cthulhu if he changes his mind and crushes us? I'm interested in option 2, because if I'm making friends out of all these old ones, I don't want Dagon to just try to gank whoever helps us in the end. How many cycles of light and shadow do you want, Dagon? I take down Cthulhu, another old one rises in his place. Do you hunt them too? It's a cycle of control and violence, and we'd just be turning the wheel. No, I have one prey. Once he is dead, nothing else matters to me. I've said that before, and it remains true. Okay. I like hearing that. If you're telling the truth. Will it be a great wheel of oppression? Possibly, but that's your problem, not mine. I seek vendetta, not justice. Since when have I ever offered comfort, Zero Day? I couldn't give her comfort in the time of Buddy, but I cannot give it now. But I can at least seek revenge, and that will suffice. I am finished with this talking, and talking, and talking. The cult stays, but will leave you to live your life. Acceptable? Fine. I'm not super comfortable with this, but I can see the reason. The cult can stay if it stays out of sight. Acceptable. We'll speak on the eve of the full moon, Zero Day. One final time before we draw upon your alliances. And perhaps then, I'll be willing to explain why my vendetta exists. Perhaps. Connection lost. What have I gotten myself into? But I don't see any way out of this except through the center of it all, hoping the walls don't cave in. The month is half over, Y2K is coming. I need to finish this. Or it'll finish me. Next time on Shadow Over Cyberspace. Alright, yeah, we are halfway through the month. Halfway through the game. I'm getting more excited the more I see about this. December 16th, 1999, Thursday, 16 days to Y2K. Yeah, not much to say here. It's still me. I'm gonna stop recording now, but this has been a great session. I'm loving how the story is developing. I'm loving what we're learning. Next time I play, I feel... I'm torn. I really want to talk to Hastur or Yog-Sothoth, but I'm also really interested about... I'm also really interested to hear about... what's it called? What was the weird web search that Nyarlathotep, one of Nyarlathotep's selves, found in the Crawling Chaos? Because that feels like it'll be a significant thing, similar to Alice discovering the fan art thread. But yeah, man, I'm loving this game. This is exactly why I always get excited when there's a new Fiction Factory game. And why I highly recommend that other people try these games, because these games, they offer a lot of variety, they offer a lot of narrative intrigue, and they actually care about the fact that you're playing a game, not just reading a choose-your-own-adventure novel, and that kind of thing is important. So, with that note, I'm going to take my leave. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Orbital Lance. I'm your Orbital Lancer, and have a good day.